I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her? Yes, I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay on her sister. Oh, that when I saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. Yes. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When we rearranged the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. What? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always the best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for the murder of that girl. Oh. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Who did you took me for? Fool, I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar of fragment? I hid the most illegible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off the pieces. Objection! But if you fabricated all the evidence... What's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Ho ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? Ho ho! That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Wrighto, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have anything. I didn't want to do that being chief and all, yes. But it's a lot of better to being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Which one is it? I don't want to show it to him, because that we cannot show the evidence. No, it's too late to show the evidence now. Besides, even if I did, it would just expose that poor girl's fingerprints. Right, think hard over the circumstances. Yes, the circumstances. I'm talking about then and now. There's one major difference between the two. Weren't you waiting for that difference? So... I better figure out my plan. Right! This is your only chance. I do have the evidence to present now. Alright. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Right. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Do I really need to present this strip of cloth? Because I was kind of thinking about this book. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Then Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. Do I just really have to go with this? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear indeed. I guess we just... I don't know. I guess we have to present this. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of a victim's vest. Oh ho, yes! At last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to left it so clearly, yes. You mean? It could not have been forged. It must have been authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! You're as slow as uptake as ever. Worthy? What? Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be so? Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Do I really need to present? I guess. They are Emma's. There's no way around it. Emma Sky? They're mine. I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Order! Oh ho ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along. And you still try to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic but true. This girl really shot Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Guy! You knew those fingerprints were all along, yet you acted she really didn't? Miss Guy, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, my boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. You concealed it first. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. Not so fast. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall? You ask? Yes, it was Emma Skye, wasn't it? Nope. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Order! Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Yes. Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold! The piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Let me just take a look at the picture. Is there anything on this picture? Let's see. Here we have a picture of him with the vest when it wasn't cut off. Is there anything here? And what about here? I can't see it, is there? I'm kind of thinking it has something to do with these pictures. Oh my. Check for details. Oh wait. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yes. Yes. Something that is quite interesting about this picture is that he has spit blood. And it's on his shirt too. But shouldn't the blood be on the piece of cloth that he cut off? Let's go. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Skye took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. Yes, indeed. It's hard to make out all the blood on his vest though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. The blood poured out of his mouth, indeed. Oh, but that piece of cloth is not bloody. It's not. Wait, there's no blood on it. Arrgh! Since Emma Skye's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword. Yes. This is nonsense. No. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. Indeed. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Skye, picked up unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword? Then make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death. The person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Then broke the jar into jar on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago. That you personally cut out the bloodless piece of the victim's chest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you prove that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finished. Objection! What? Huh? Oh ho ho! That was close, Wrighto. You almost had me. Almost? Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean, refute his allegations? You see that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. What? Order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Archie. Earlier, old Wrighto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Wrighto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point of time. Well, that's true. Yes, at that moment that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. That's not fair. Did you actually think you could beat me in court? It looks like the last laughs on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright. Seems at last the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Well, Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? You purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth. I did. I did not. I refused to present the evidence at one point. Ha ha ha, so the evidence is illegal. Objection. Not so fast. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I said I didn't present the evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean by you couldn't? There was a certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. Oh, Archie, please don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a Objection. There is one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let's settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present this evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of law, then do so. Let's take a look at the book. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. What I have in mind is that, what I'm thinking right now, it wasn't really... Because I don't think... We only got this picture a while ago, and back then we didn't have it. It wasn't relevant. Now it is. Let's go. Take this book. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, the magic word with H